6:30 Eastern. So Emily, if you want to take it away and welcome everyone and get us started.
Okay, you guys welcome. This is our second session, right? Yes, yes. Okay, wonderful. Welcome to the second session of the series. I'm happy you're here. We're always going to start with some breath work. I'm kind of feeling like a little softer, calmer practice today. We'll see what happens. I'll focus on some of the requests. So to start, I'd like you to be seated. So it's really nice. Like I've got a couple of blankets. I've got a couple of yoga blankets in here. I've got some pillows. I've got a meditation cushion. So have a seat on something that elevates your hips. If your sinuses are congested, let's go ahead and clear your sinuses. And again, I think one of the most important things for you to receive as much as you can from our time together is that you protect the space. So unless there's like really something important going on, close the door and let yourself be here. All right, you guys, let's sit together. If sitting is challenging, sit in a chair. If you're cold, cover yourself with a blanket or something. Sometimes in a cross-legged seat, the knees don't want to come down, really common. So if that's the case, blocks, pillows, something underneath your knees. Ideally, knees are level to the hips or a little bit lower. Okay, so a good way to just start is look around your space and let your eyes, I do this a lot, just let your eyes land on 3 or 4 different objects and really don't do like a drive-by, like really gaze. To ground yourself in the space, and just the eye movement is helpful. And then we'll let your eyes close. And we always want to take a moment to be like, what's here? How am I? How does my physical body feel? Is there anything in particular that's lighting up? Some of you spoke to that in the chat, hips back. Just your own physiology. And then you check in, like, how's my heart? How's my heart? Am I anxious? Am I calm? Is there some particular emotion that's up? You notice it, you welcome it, you bring it here. Really, the way we want to transmute emotions is we bring it close in, we're with it, we give it the attention it needs, because that's what it's asking for, your attention. And that's how we move it. You can just notice, like, how's your breath moving through you? I happen to be calm today. It just changes all the time. It's like the weather. Emotions are like the weather. They're always changing. So there's a really sweet thought that when we're in a group, even if we're not sharing the same space, truly, and you can even notice this when you are in groups with people, that there tends to be a leaning into the person with the calmest nervous system because we're drawn magnetically to what we want. So it's similar to the grandfather clocks in a room. If you leave them together long enough, they eventually all sync up. So find your breath. Start to just breathe more fully. Maybe your hands want to be on your heart or just somewhere on the body. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. Maybe there's a little smile. Our expression on our face is sending messages to the nervous system, really. Relax around the eyes, relax around the jaw, open and close your mouth a little bit if you can. So I'm really liking alternate nostril breathing because it's super simple and it's a great tool to just have. My hope for you is that when you walk away from our time together, that there's little tools that you just tuck in your pocket and they're there. I call it my medicine bag, different tools that I can pull from when I'm eating something, and it's empowering when I can give to myself rather than need from something outside of myself. I mean, obviously we need both. All right, let's start with it. Clear your sinuses if you need to. I'm going to bring my thumb to my index finger. My thumb's kind of on top of the nail. I'm going to turn my palm up, just rest it on top of that thigh. So you switch hands. If your dominant hand is your left, we're going to block the right nostril first, either way. So be with your thumb or with your ring finger and little finger. Take a breath in through the left side, all the way in. All the way to the top. And you'll switch it, blocking the left and exhaling through the right. And we're taking our time. I think that's a big theme that I offer in every class that I teach, and I offer it to myself all the time, is to let go of the urgency, let go of the rushing, slow it down, trusting and believing that there's actually more for you to receive in the slowing down. So we're always switching at the top. It's inhale left, exhale right, exhale left, and it's slow. I always think with this breath that we're like, it's a purification of our physical body, of our lungs, of the mind, of the heart, of your energy field. It's like, it almost reminds me of like cleaning a really cloudy mirror or window. I like a window better, I think. Both are good. We're clearing out anything that's in the way of us feeling more of ourselves, more of the truth. So stay with us a little bit. This is usually good, like when you're needing to do it for a couple of minutes. We're expanding your capacity to inhale. Our inhale, the breath is vital life force energy. If there is no breath, there is no life. So breathe in, slowing the exhalation down. Every exhale, land in the body, feel the bones. Let yourself be here. And why don't we just take one more cycle? I know I take some time, but if we're not here, it's just like, it's forgettable. When I'm present for a meditation versus distracted, totally different experience. And we can be compassionate for ourselves when we just can't be present, okay? Go ahead and let that technique go. And just take a moment, breathing in and out. You can keep your hands if you want in that mudra. Feel your spine. Feel your lungs breathing in and out, your heart beating. And you drop in a little deeper, like sink in a layer deeper into yourself. Sometimes we're afraid, sometimes we're resistant. And then before we open our eyes and we move together, just like an ask, like a prayer or an intention of some kind. Words hold a frequency and an energy, and our energy flows where attention goes. So what's important? Offer that, offer something for yourself, a little affirmation or prayer. Sometimes it's interesting to notice what drops in when it drops in and it's like not from the head. Maybe something unexpected. Okay, so I think go ahead and drop your chin into your chest. Let your eyes open. Take any support that's underneath you out. Let's come to all fours. We are going to do some stuff on our back, but we're going to start here. So come to your tabletop, all fours. Tuck your toes under. I'm actually in navy today, not black, but it looks like black. I need bright pink or something. Okay, tuck your toes under. If it's too intense, you want to make sure all 10 toes are curled under. So flip that fourth toe, fifth toe under. And if this is like not happening, Emily, just come forward. And the further my hips are forward, the less intense it'll be. So I had plantar fasciitis for 2 years. So I'm a huge fan of taking care of my feet. And I teach it in most of my classes. Untuck your toes. If you can, you sit back on your heels. I know my friends with knee issues, this might be challenging, so don't do it if it hurts. If you can, so this is called Thunderbolt. And if I want a little more, I'll take my hands behind me and I'll even lift the knees. That action comes from hip flexion. So I'm engaging my hip flexors. You can also just assist yourself. I'm going to do one knee at a time or both. And then we're going to bring it forward and we're going to turn your hands. So my hands are turned, palms down, fingertips towards my knees, thumbs out. And my toes are curled under and I'm going to sit back again. The closer my hands are to my knees, the softer this will be. So if I want it more intense, I'll move a little further away. One way you could do that if that's too intense is just pull one hand at a time, pull your fingers back. And then we're going to do the opposite. My fingers will still point back towards my knees, but I'm turning my palms face up. Thumbs are pointing in. If you can, straighten the elbows. Sometimes if you don't stretch your wrists, it's a bit of a shock how tight this can be. So just know it's normal. And then we're going to just come to all fours, spreading wide through your fingers. And we're going to start with our cow and our cat tilt. So we arch the spine. You could do this on blocks. You could put a block under each hand. You're going to arch your back as you inhale. And round as you exhale. Just close your eyes if you want to. Arch as you inhale, contract your back muscles. And round. Tuck your chin in and go back. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. It's up to you. When we send the hips all the way back to the heels, I feel like more in my lower spine. Tone the belly as you round and go back. And exhale. Empty. So I want you to do a few more of these. I want you to slow it down and I want you to focus on the exhalation, like really empty, empty, empty. In our breath, the inhalation is sympathetic, action, energizing, masculine in a way. And the exhalation is parasympathetic. It's that grounding, it's the letting go, it's slowing down, calming down, more of a feminine energy. So enjoy that on the way back. Like, it's safe for me to slow down. Then next time you go back, go ahead and go all the way back to child's pose, but adjust your knees wide. So I like my knees pretty wide when I do a child's pose. My toes are still close together and arms are extended forward, either forehead down, or you might want to turn your head to one side. When the knees are wide, you're going to feel more groin and hips. When the knees are together, you'll feel more in your spine. Often child's pose, the hands are back by your heels, knees are together. Again, feel your breath as you're in your child's pose. Slow. What energy are you breathing in with every breath? Mine is trust today. And what are you breathing in with every breath? Like your cells receive the message and they smile or they exhale or they feel calmer. Every cell of the body. What do you want to say to every cell? Okay, we're going to bring it back up to our tabletop. So I said easy, which we're going to keep it easy today, but I want to do a little bit of a core exercise here. So extend your right leg back. Kick that heel back behind you. And you can just rock a little bit forward and back, adjust your hands wherever it feels supportive. And just have a sense that you're not collapsed, belly is pulled in, rocking forward and back. You could cross this right leg over to the left, like a lot. So right leg over to the left. My inner thighs are connected and I'm going to look over my left shoulder. Maybe feel a little stretch in that right hip. Bring it back to center and left side and rock forward and back, stretching the calf. I know everybody's going to have these little hot spots, right? And I don't know all of them. If I did, I would guide you more specifically. So I'm just going to encourage you to listen to that wisdom and know when something is a no, or you need more or less. Left leg crosses over to the right. I gaze over my shoulder. I let the hip pop out of it. And bring it back to center. I'm going to extend my right leg back and just hold it static with my toes pointing straight down. My pelvis neutral, right hand directly underneath the shoulder. Left arm extends, balancing cat. Just look straight down, hold. Press into the right hand. Sometimes left toes tucked under will feel a little more stable. You're engaging your glutes and your back muscles and your core to stabilize. We're going to release, other side, left leg. Toes down. Right arm. Usually turn my palm in. If it's a little wobbly, meet that with compassion. Meet that with maybe inspiration to keep practicing rather than judgment. We're going to move on the breath now. So it's right leg, left arm, inhale. And exhale to all fours. Left leg, right arm, inhale. Exhale, all fours. Continue, right leg, left arm, inhale. This is great for the brain because we're connecting right and left. Inhale, exhale, finding a rhythm. So start to kind of find a rhythm that feels good to you. Inhale and exhale. Expand, open, inhale. Come back to center, exhale. Stay with it. You're trying to stay real solid here through the center, through your core. Next time it's right leg, left arm, hold. You can hold. Some of you might be able to bend the knee and find the foot, left hand to right foot. If you're very back bendy, naturally, you could kick your foot into your hand. Watch your back here, my friends that shared your back was kind of achy. And we'll release. We're going to do the other side. Left leg, right arm, hold. If I'm ever doing something you're like, can't do it, Emily, the knees aren't happy, I should show you how to do this actually on your back. Right hand, maybe the left foot. Maybe I kick. I really want to encourage you, go ahead and let that go. I want to encourage you, if I'm ever doing something for 2 or 3 minutes and you can't participate, there's an opportunity. What can I do in that window? What can I do in that window that serves me, that still allows me to be connected and engaged and present in here? Don't exit, if you can. All right, all fours. Tuck your toes, float your knees. Hold. Press. This is core, this is shoulders, this is quads. Really easy way. Not easy, but quick way. Release it down, take a breath, inhale. Let it go, exhale. We're going to do it one more time. I like this better than plank. Toes tuck, hands press down, little hover. And not up here, not down dog, little hover. It's hard, it's supposed to be hard. Release. All right, little quarter dog now. Right forearm comes down onto the mat. It's parallel to the top of the mat, and it's basically going to be like under my forehead. Left arm's going to walk forward. My hips are over my knees. I kind of let my sitting bones tilt up, so I'm in some extension here. Rest my head, reach through that left arm. So this stretches the fascia, stretches just underneath that left arm. The key is soften the sternum down towards the mat. If I did this with 2 arms, it would be called Anahata Asana. Anahata is the heart. Sinking the heart down to the earth. We're going to switch arms. Left forearm supports. Right arm reaches. You should feel a stretch in that arm. If not, straighten it more, reach it further forward. Even come up onto the fingertips. Sink the sternum down. Many people cannot do both arms. I'm going to show it to you. Maybe there's a couple of you that can. Both arms are forward, melt down. That's a lot. Okay, bring that in. Moving on. Going to step your right foot up in between your hands. You might want to have blocks here. So there's some different ways to do a lunge. I can keep my lunge back here. That's fine. It's fine. But I'm scooping. I don't pull the belly up, tailbone down, so you get this hip flexion. I like letting my knee go way past my toes. The reason I like that is I'm getting a stretch through my Achilles and my calf, and I get more through the hip flexor. Why not to do this? Deep flexion in the knee is not feeling good to you. Okay, so just kind of pick which one. In all of these, in all the variations, your hands can be on the ground, your hands can be on top of the thigh, and your arms can be up. The more I lean back, the more I'm going to get this stretch through the hip flexor, specifically the psoas. The psoas is tied to the nervous system too. When we're tense and stressed, that muscle grips. So we relax with it. You want to watch, the more that you lean back, the more you're bringing your lower spine into extension. So it's just important to know my back likes that or my back doesn't like that, and only you are feeling into that. And we're going to bring the hands down. We're just going to switch sides to keep it simple. Left foot forward, deciding low lunge here, or low lunge here, or somewhere in between. I like the calf stretch. That's why I do it. And I do think if you don't have, stress in the joints and the knee, it's good to move through full range of motion with the knees healthy, because it maintains that mobility. Hands are on the ground, hands are on the thigh, arms are reaching up. It's not like arms reaching up is better. What do I want to do right now? And we'll release. Let's bring it back, all fours. We're going to do a high lunge this time. You might want to have blocks. I'm going to step my right foot forward again. I'm going to grab blocks. Mine are at the second level. And they're going to land like right under my shoulders, meaning I don't want them forward, right? Because that doesn't feel stable. Tuck my toes, lift. So I think for this high lunge, why don't we have the knee tracking over the ankle, rather than forward. You can have your hands on the blocks. You can have your hands on top of the thigh. You could have your arms reaching up. You might have like a folding chair next to you or something stable. I don't know if I like a folding chair, but something stable. You could be near a wall that has molding, like a windowsill or something to hold on to. And then how deep of a lunge do I want? If I've got some fire today, I want to work the glutes a little more, and the quads, I'm going to go into almost a 90-degree angle here. And breathe, balance, strength. You might feel some heat. Good to warm up the muscles so that they open for us. I'm going to release my hands back down and the knee back down. You could put a pillow underneath this left knee. I'm going to pull my hips back, half split. So I generally want to adjust the distance between my front heel and my back knee so that I'm not sitting on my heel, although that actually is a pose and would be fine. So I'm feeling back of this leg opening up, flexing my foot, drawing the toes back to the face. Tendency will be to round, because that makes it easier on the hamstring. Take that out, even if it means I'm going to take the blocks to the higher level so I can keep my spine straight. Slow breath. do a little check-in here. And I bring more of myself here. I bring more of my presence here. And I breathe in such a way that supports my whole system, nervous system, immune system, my heart, lungs. Shift your weight back into this knee, and let's go halfway around the mat. I'm going to bring the blocks with me. Left thigh is going to lift, pivot to the left. Blocks with me, toes pointing straight ahead, straight spine, straight spine. Inhale here. And then exhale and fold in. So maybe your hands are on the blocks, your forearms are on the blocks, or you don't need them. If you tend to get dizzy or you're concerned at all, then I would say you keep your head, you keep your body at 90 degrees. Straightening both legs, keeping your spine straight. So let's pivot back to the top of the mat. You bring those blocks with you, pivoting back to the top. And here's what I'd like us to do. I'd like you to step your left foot forward to the top of the mat. We're in a chair pose here with our knees bent, spine straight. Lift your chest. Push all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Look up to your hands if you can. And exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. And just stand with me for a moment. So you're in mountain pose. Just stand. Arms at your sides. So you can feel the difference of letting your upper back round, your shoulders come forward, your head come forward. It's just like a disempowered kind of sleepy stance versus standing tall, straight, strong spine, shoulders back, heart open. Plenty of space for the lungs to expand. All right. So we're going to try this chair pose again. I'm going to try it a little differently. I'm going to turn this way for a moment. So you're standing facing the top of your mat. You're going to come into that chair pose. You could just bring your hands into prayer. So most important is your back is nice and straight. There's no rounding there. I want you to just try to shift your weight into that right foot. Lift the left heel. Kind of letting the burden come into the right leg, and see if without kind of popping the left hip up, the left foot will lift. Put that left foot down. Shift your weight. Lift the right heel. Maybe the right foot. Bring it back down. Push all the way up to standing again. Inhale. And then we're just going to open the arms and fold forward. Exhale. Now find your blocks. We're going to go ahead and step the right leg back. We're going to bring that right knee down. So we're in a low lunge for a moment on the opposite side. And we've got our blocks so that we can come back into a high lunge and do it safely. So lift that back thigh. Maybe my high lunge is here. How you breathing? Hands can come to the top of the thigh. Got really warm in here. Arms can come up. So ideally that back heel is lifted. If I put the back heel down, I'm in a warrior one, which is fine. I'm teaching it with the heel lifted for now. Drop into that lunge. Breathe. Lift your chin. Reach through your fingertips. Hands release down. Knee releases down. We pull it back half split to stretch the hamstrings. Hips pull back. So adjust your blocks. I like my right toes tucked under. You might want support underneath that knee. If things are really tight, take the blocks to the third level. All of these things really could be adapted and simplified, you know, on a chair, for instance. It's just hard for me to show you all of the options. So just take care of yourself. Shift your weight back into this front knee. We're going to lift the right thigh and carry it halfway around to the right this time. But what I want you to do, and I'm going to face you this way, even though you're opposite, is I want you to turn your toes out 45 degrees. And I want you to just lunge side to side. Bend the left knee and straighten it. Bend the right knee and straighten it. Side to side, use your breath. Inhale to center. Exhale, lunge. So the key is I'm trying to point my knee in the direction of my toes. And I could shorten my stance up. I could get rid of the blocks, maybe. And I could go deeper. But lots of ways. Playing with range of motion. And the main thing to take care of here are your knees. Just try a little side to side and then meet me back in the center. Toes pointing straight ahead. And you could have your hands on the blocks or on the floor. You know, the deepest expression of this, the crown of your head's on the ground in between your feet. So if that's available to you, go for it. We'll be bringing this onto our back here soon. I think I'm going to offer one challenging thing here. So we're going to bring it back to the top of the mat. Again, I think it's good, you know, I mean, I would do this for myself in a yoga class. How do I want to meet myself when there's things that I can't do? I step to the top of the mat and I'm in that chair pose. Super straight spine. Maybe I need the blocks, maybe I don't. Chair is awesome, I think, all the way up. I mean, it's not necessarily easy, but I think the mountain pose, breathing. And just relax your arms and just check in, like what's showing up? What's showing up? Sensations in your body, thoughts. What's the state of being? What's the weather like in there, you know? Sunny, is it rainy? Is it stormy? Is it calm? Is it tumultuous? And we wrap our arms around whatever the answer is. Okay. I'm going to teach you one-legged chair because it's hard, and I want to teach you a challenging posture, and we can simplify it at the wall, and your safety is always what matters to me, always. Okay. So chair pose. Come into chair. If I did this at a wall, I would be here with my hips against the wall. Show it to you this way. I'm going to take my right foot, lift it up. If I feel stable, it's coming on top of my thigh. Number 4, figure 4. Flex my foot, hands to prayer, drop. Like a pigeon pose, standing. So we get strength in the standing leg, we get balance, hip rotation. Strong core, straight spine, steady gaze. There is no room for you to be thinking about anything else when you're doing a pose like this. That's why I like it. You'll release, you'll come to standing. We'll take a big breath in. And maybe there's a sigh here. We exhale. I think it's important to give ourselves permission to do things that we don't normally do, like let out a good sigh in class, or you know, you got a lot of energy, like shake it out, and you know, whatever's needed, whatever supports you. We're going to switch sides. So I could just lift and practice that balance. Maybe cross it on top, press the knee back, flex the foot, belly in, straight spine, sink. This is one-legged chair. It's not easy. Do it against the wall. Always do it against the wall, get into the shape of the pose, and then work away from the wall. And then release. And again, just like take a moment, maybe shake things out. Before we lie down, just come back to your intention for yourself. I don't know what you're gazing at. I have, all these windows in my space, and it's nice to just connect with nature when I can. We're going to find our way onto our back. Okay, we've got about 10 minutes to play on our spine. I'm thinking of my friends that said your back was achy, so let's work on that. Take your feet to the mat. I'm going to have my toes pointing straight ahead. My friends that have blocks, put a block in between your knees. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. I put the second width, but not the thinnest, second in between my knees. Knees are tracking over the toes. Heels are lined up with my sitting bones. When I squeeze the block, I'm engaging inner thighs. When I connect to inner thighs, I can access pelvic floor better. You're welcome to just engage. It's like a lifting up. I'm going to press my feet down, ground down through my arms, give a little tuck of my shoulder blades in, and keep hold of that block. So toes, if you don't have a block, just have the mindfulness that we don't want the knees to open. That puts pressure on the sacrum. If you've got the shoulder mobility and you want more, clasp your hands underneath. Tuck more, so my upper arms are as close together as I can get them. Rounding through the arms, lifting through the hips. Strengthens your glutes, your quads. Spinal extension. Breath. You want a little more, lift your heels. Let's let it go. Let's go soles of the feet together, knees apart. See if your hands maybe want to rest on your belly. Or if anything's going on in your belly, there's anxiety there, or there's tension or stagnation of some kind, you can just visualize how much healing we have in our hands and offer that to yourself. Breathe into your hands. The medicine of slowing down. It's like we're such in a rush to get it all done, and it's not serving our systems. So that's something I do often throughout the day, is check in when I feel hurried and just check in whether or not that's actually necessary in helping me, and try to change it. So we did one-legged chair. This is almost the same thing and yet totally different. Right ankle on top of the left thigh. If I'm close to a wall, I could put that left foot on a wall or on a couch or something to stabilize. Otherwise, I'm interlacing behind the thigh or across the shin. Press the right knee away as you pull the left leg closer to you. One hour to just be with yourself. I like to think of the practice as really an hour of mindfulness and meditation, even though we're together and eyes are open. So let's switch sides. Let's go left ankle over the right. If there's a lot of tension, your body will want to tilt to the left. Body's always looking for the path of least resistance. And sometimes it's good to go right into the discomfort so that we can move it. So try to keep hip and knee aligned, hug it in. I want you to feel that a lot of this is accessible to you. I want you to feel calmer when we're complete. I want you to feel challenged a little. And let's release it down. Okay, we're just going to give ourselves a little hug here. Wrap your arms around your shins. I like some distance between my knees. You can notice what your preference is. Let's let the left leg go. Keep the right knee held in. And really pull your right knee up towards your right shoulder. You can open it out to the right a little bit. I've got a pretty firm grip around my shin. I could do it behind the knee if my knee's sensitive. Use a little muscle there. Get a good squeeze. You're compressing the right side of the abdomen, compressing the hip joint. Helps your glutes, your low back. We're going to take a twist, guide that knee across and down. Open your right arm. I like the knee all the way down, even if the shoulder lifts. And then let gravity just on the exhale, let go. Let go, let go. Relax your hands, relax your toes, your eyes, your jaw. Offer yourself some words of encouragement here if you'd like. Bring it back to center. And let's hug the left knee in. Again, a good grip, good squeeze, little muscle to it. Press left side of the belly, ascending colon, descending colon. On the right, it goes up, across, and down. So we go right side and then left. Intentionally, you can open it out to the side. I'm learning more and more about how the gut affects our brain. Big fan of gut healing as much as we can. Take the knee across and down. Open your left arm. Again, I like the knee down, and then on that exhale, I'm just like, where does my shoulder want to go? And I surrender into gravity. So lower half of the body is turning to the right. Upper half is rotating to the left. If you've got scar tissue, good to stretch this out. I do. I had two surgeries, preventative, but I can relate to that aspect. Unwind, come back to center. Okay, last one I want to do, then we're lying down, feet wide, knees together. I have a sweet little poem that I taught a yoga for cancer class for many years, and somebody sent it to me in that group, and it's such a beautiful reading, so I'll share that with you. Knees are together, feet are apart if I can get through it without crying. All right, so your knees are together, your feet are apart. This is internal rotation. Great. If we don't move in this way, we're going to lose that mobility. So I like this one because it's internal and external. Right knee to the right, left knee drops down. External rotation in the right leg, internal in the left. We're driving that left knee down so the left hip can lift and open. Arms overhead, big breath in. Deep breath is an ally. It is a tool that you've got access to all the time, and to know how to utilize it so that it can support you, to understand all that it offers, to breathe well. Knees to the left knee drops all the way down if you can. Right knee is, I'm dropping that right knee and lifting the right hip. I like to flex my feet because that feels better in my knees. Arms overhead if you can, big breath in. Into the belly, letting go, breath out. Bring some sound. Just that vibration, letting out a sigh is more than letting out a sigh. There's a vibration in the body. That's why chanting is so powerful. And back to center. Any final movement you need. Any final movement you need. Let me see how I'm doing. Yes, perfect timing. Rocking. Okay. Any final movement that your body needs, like a posture that you just know you wish I would have done, or it's part of your practice. And when you're ready, when you lie down, I would say always cover with a blanket, even if you're not cold, because the body's going to relax more, warm, and just the contact of kind of a soft blanket on your skin. You can put an eye pillow across your eyes. You can put something under your knees or prop your feet up on an ottoman or something. That helps the low back relax. And then really let this be like the dessert, not like, oh, we're coming to completion. Let it be, I've slowed down. I've been connected to my body and my breath. I'm more present. For me, meditation is getting quiet enough to listen to a wisdom that's really beyond, I would say your soul has an opportunity to speak to you, or some intelligence or wisdom that wants to be known. So just let it be about getting quiet and being still. I'm going to leave you quiet for a bit, and I will read this in a few minutes. Permission to really sink in, like it's safe for me to relax deep. Each time we practice, we maybe go, as we practice, we deepen our ability to drop into a state. It feels safer and safer over time. Accessing a deeper state of meditation is more available over time. Quiet. All right, I want to offer this. Again, this was sent to me, and I think it's just so beautiful. So it's called Strong She Is. I think I read it once before. She is strong, not because of how much she can lift, but for how she lifts others up when they're at their lowest. Not because she is capable of withstanding the storm, but because she'll navigate the storm and then show you how to do the same. Not because she is indestructible, but because after every fall, she will always, always rise. She is strong, not because she chose to be, but because the world demanded her to be. She has walked through hell, faced battles most will never comprehend, and yet despite it all, she still chooses to be kind, to be soft at the hands of a world that tried to break her. Her strength comes from within, from learning how to turn pain into power, chaos into peace, wounds into wisdom. Strong she is, who knows her worth and refuses to settle for less. Strong she is, who will not break down, who will fight for what she believes in. Who has loved wrapped around her heart and courage knitted into her bones and fire running through her veins. Strong she is. All right. Drink in whatever resonates. We'll take a deeper breath. We'll bring some movement back, hands and feet. Just notice how you feel having taken an hour. Maybe just circling back to whatever your personal intention or prayer was, or words for yourself. We want to really fill this space with as much unconditional love, compassion, patience, positivity, inspiration, connection as we can. So it's good medicine. We're curling onto your side. Shavasana translates, Shavasana is about shedding. It's about the letting go. It's letting go of what doesn't serve. And then we turn onto our side child's pose, a posture of renewal. And then it always kind of reminds me of like planting a seed and letting it sprout. It has to root down before it can rise and push through. I think of that as we come from side child's pose all the way up to seated, back to where we started. Elevating your hips if you want to, finding that super straight spine. That posture means a lot. It's beyond just it looks nice. It serves you. Let's take a slow breath in through both nostrils, through the nose, and a slow breath out either through the nose or through the mouth. And as you're exhaling slowly, the hands can come to prayer in front of the heart. You drop your chin into your chest. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your energy. And always offer each other namaste. Namaste. Hey, thank you, friends. Good to see some of your faces. Good to have all of you here. Totally understand, camera's off too. I respect that too. Come back. Thank you, guys. You're welcome to unmute. I welcome that. Hear your voice, and you don't have to either.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stephanie, thank you for holding space for us too. Your presence is really part of the whole thing, so I appreciate you.
Thank you, Emily.
Guys.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Namaste.
We'll see you next week. If you need anything, feel free to reach out.
Peace to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.